Hello, and welcome to Mindset Mondays with DTK. This is episode number 128. Mindset Mondays with DTK is an ongoing series of live broadcasts that I've created for folk who are dedicated to getting better at being who they be and not merely distracted by just getting better at doing what they do. These are the folks who know that to get better at doing what you do, you must get better at being who you be, who you are at your core. So, welcome. So here's the playground today. I'm going to go ahead and bring this quote up. This is what we're playing with today. That we are faced with a series of great opportunities brilliantly disguised as impossible situations. And what I love was Sarah Albritton, a friend of mine and part of this Mindset Mondays community, shared this quote with me a week or about 10 days ago. So I slid it into the rotation. Always looking for new things that are salient, if not salient to the moment and salient to this conversation. And the concept here is, no, this is not supposed to be just one more yammering on diatribe about making lemons out of lemonade. Since March 11th, when, I don't know when y'all went on lockdown, but since March 11th, when we started changing the way we interacted with the world, I've heard those conversations so many times. But this is instead sort of a call to action or a call to arms. I look at this as part of the battle for your peace of mind, right? And in that battle for your peace of mind, the most effective armament is intention. And that's what this quote is about. This idea that we are all faced with a series of great opportunities brilliantly disguised as impossible situations. It's like no matter the situation that one faces, the choice that's made on how to see that situation absolutely shapes and colors the experience that one has. So, I mean, if you go back to February 2018, to my very first episode, right? This is going back to the beginning of Mindset Mondays, February 2018. And in facebook.com/groups/Mindset Mondays, you can see all of the old episodes. You can also go to mindsetmondays.tv on my website and see all of them. But if you go back to that very first one, it was about choosing consciously. That's even the title of the first chapter of the Mindset Mondays with DTK book, right? It's about choosing consciously. It's how have you chosen to use these last 6 months? How have you chosen to see and therefore experience? And whether you're calling it circuit breaker or lockdown, depending on which part of the globe you're in, how have you chosen to use that time? How have you chosen to use that space? How have you chosen to choose? How have you chosen to use that shift in behavior and possibility? And more than that, how are you choosing to see and use the rest of 2020? I mean, this is August 3rd. August, September, October, November, December. We have 5 months left in this year. 5 months. We're past the halfway mark on however we will describe 2020 going forward. Oh my, we've got 5 months of it left. So I'm curious, what opportunities await your intention? What choices will you make about what's possible this year? We are all faced with a series of great opportunities, and that's not changing anytime soon. And yes, they are brilliantly disguised as impossible situations. For that matter, they're blatantly presented as a gift. I just listened to a conversation with a consultant who's working with 5 of the counties around the city in which I live, just north of us, and talking about this consultant doctor, her conversations with these school districts and the superintendents of these school districts, and talking about this is the choice, sending kids back to school in person or online is a choice between mental health and mental health, right? It's the mental health. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me say it the way she did. Public health and public health, right? It's the first side is the public health issues of sending children into school, which, by the way, if you have parents, particularly under the age of 10, school is a ginormous petri dish. Children share everything they have and it comes back home. But it's a choice between public health, the public health decision of sending children back to school in person or virtual, and the risks that are associated with going back in person, or the public health issue of the mental health of children going to school and the social emotional components of being at school. Now, not to mention the social emotional value for the parents oftentimes of the children going to school and the parents getting back into their routine. But again, it's a choice between public health and public health. So the choices we've been making up until now, and I venture to guess the choices we'll be making going forward, are not choices between good and bad at all. They're choices between one outcome and another, oftentimes between good and good or moderate and moderate. And they're not even gradations, right? They're not even that wildly disparate. They're often Sophie's choice. Whichever way we go, it's a difficult, it can be seen as a difficult, uncomfortable choice. Again, sending your kids back to school, the choice between public health and public health. It's not good and bad. It's not good and evil. We've been making choices like that for 4 to 5 months, and that's not going to change. And this is not political, right? This is cultural, and it's all choice. Again, we are all faced with a series of great opportunities, brilliantly disguised as impossible situations. The opportunity for conversations with our children and decision makings in a conscious way with our families, rather than just, oh, it's August, or if you're in the Northeast, it's September, kids go back to school. There are different decisions being made. There are different decisions being made about how homework is done and where homework is done. There are different conversations about where and how work is done. With children going back to some uncertainty in school, think about the ripple effect for workplaces. Parents who have been working at home with the promise that at the end of the summer the children would go back to school and they can go back to a normal or a more normal, less abnormal way of being at work. That's not going to happen. Workplaces are having to adapt to parents that are adapting to the school situation. And it's changing the way teams interact, the way teams behave, the way work is done. It's our chance to change our awareness and therefore our lens and therefore our experience of everything in our world. That's the truth that's happened. That's the truth that's available here. Right? In the battle for your peace of mind, your most effective armament is intention. And yeah, I use language that's in terms of battle. Because it is. In your battle for peace of mind, your greatest armament is choice or intention, choosing how you see things. And I'm highlighting Lynn's quote because tell me it isn't only 5 months left. Yeah, that's fascinating. It's like, wow, we can look at it as, ooh, it's only 5 months left. Think of all I have to get done between now and the end of the year. And also, wow, thankfully only 5 months left of 2020. And again, it's an opportunity for us to choose with intention the lens that we use to see what's in front of us changes how we experience what's in front of us. How are you choosing? By the way, it's easy to rewrite how we've seen this year up until now because it's behind us. What I'm challenging you to do is to be intentional and choiceful about how you're going to see the rest of this year, to design with intention the experience you will have between now and January 1st, 2021. It's an active choice you get to make every day, every hour, every minute. How is it that I choose to experience the world around me? So congratulations, it's your choice. You are the creator of the outcomes that you will experience. All right, so we're 10 minutes into this conversation, and I'm curious, what are you choosing for what's coming up for you? What are you choosing for how you will see what's before you and what's coming up? How will you choose to experience the next 5 months of this year? Okay, yes, I know I said this wasn't about a rant about making lemonade out of lemons, but why not? Will you choose the lemons or will you choose the lemonade? What will you choose? And I would love you to come to facebook.com/group/Mindset Mondays and share your experience, your conversations about this. And go to mindsetmondays.tv and look for the very first episode back in February of 2018. This is a conversation that's been going on. There's so many rich conversations for you to experience at mindsetmondays.tv. And with the book coming out a month from, oh my God, on September 1st, many more conversations for you to experience there. So between now and next week, what mindset will you